Sometimes we feel like winter is taking forever. Right, Rainbow Crow? Right. Yeah. Well, the Regency ladies. Oh, you too, Nancy? The Regency ladies felt the same way. And a holiday, or any time that someone could possibly come over for some tea, was very welcome.
Welcome back to Mom Make That Times 2.
My girls and I are going to celebrate Valentine's Day early by setting off a Regency inspired themed tea party just as soon as the chores are done. Claudius II outlawed marriage. This didn't seem to make sense, especially to Valentine, who decided to marry couples in secret. But this was found out, and he was put under arrest and probably beheaded or died somehow. Tradition goes that Valentine left a card behind to a jailer's daughter, signed Your Valentine. The Catholic Church then made him a saint and turned February 14th into Valentine's Day. Jane Austen mentions tea in all 6 of her novels, in some way or another. After all, isn't tea synonymous with breathing? Anyway, Austen was also responsible for guarding the tea, buying it, and serving it to her family. It seems to be that tea has everything to do with what time of day you are serving it. Is it a morning breakfast tea and coffee? An afternoon low tea in which it was served on couches and lower tables? Or an evening high tea served at dinner tables and for parties? Now, what would most likely be served at a tea? Let's say afternoon. Most likely you have these things I found on Pinterest, which are very helpful. They show the 3 tiers. The lowest and biggest tier was for the savory options. Then your middle tier was more like your scones, with the top tiers being your desserts and fruits. Now, what should be worn for tea? Well, this depends greatly on what time the tea is for. Is it a breakfast or morning? In that case, you can dress in your more comfortable clothes, but make sure you are fully covered. Evening was more formal, and you didn't have to cover up quite as much. Oh, yes, what would the men have worn if they were invited to a Valentine's tea party? The normal breeches or trousers, frilled white shirt, waistcoat, and of course the cravats around that high neck. Cards were brought around, usually by unmarried couples, sometimes in secret, and were all homemade. Some games that could be played would be, of course, whist, one of Jane Austen's favorite, at least she mentions it a lot in her book, as well as billiards and probably many other games. For our American version of a Regency Valentine tea party, we are going to have cucumber sandwiches, along with peanut butter and jelly, yes, ham-wrapped pickles. We also tried a British recipe for scones, but just made with our freshly milled flour, along with choux buns or cream puffs, and macarons, chocolate-dipped strawberries, and of course, tea. I also separated the egg whites from the yolks. I am very thankful to have hens who are laying right now.
First, we are going to make the macarons. The egg whites. Well, in a different bowl. And now it's the egg whites.
Okay, so to start this out, we went ahead and weighed the almond flour and confectioner's sugar. Then we sifted, processed, sifted. So we have a nice, really fine consistency. Now it's time to go on to the egg whites. Meanwhile, Addison is working on the cream puffs that we used fresh milled flour for. It's a combination of soft white berries and kamut, which we have also. She's in charge of melting that down and then adding the flour. Yep. All right, egg whites are going in. She'll mix those up.
All right. Is this plugged in?
So those are foamy. Then we'll add in the cream of tartar and then the sugar very slowly. Over here, we've got our shoe dough. Actually, that's coming together really well. Yeah. It's almost there. Almost there.
Sing the meringue.
All right.
I'm scared.
Woo! Ow. Okay.
Maybe we should have done it on the table.
Okay, that's good
morning, good morning. Oh, it's great to stay up late. Good morning to you. C, but all that she could sing. C was the bottom of the deep blue C.
Okay, so next we're going to be moving on to the scones using a British recipe. I'm continuing to use the same soft wheat berries that I milled last night. So once this is done, then we will move on to our fillings.
Mommy, I eat this.
Nope.
Look how much chocolate on that side.
A little bit more, yeah. Yep, that looks good.
Another we need.
Oh, wait, more
How about banana?
A little bit more than that.
Put chicken on it. Put chicken on it.
Put chicken on it.
You ready?
Oh, Pierre, you shouldn't have come. Can't. Can't. I can't stand him. Happy again, just laugh in a cloud, so dark up above, and I'm singing, just singing in the rain.